And like always, you've completed your mission.
Like always.
Those words don't come from me. You must know what they say about you here.
No, I don't know. Enlighten me.
Well, you have kind of a reputation. It's actually rather flattering.
What exactly do they say?
Oh, you want to know? I didn't think...
Simple curiosity, nothing more.
Everybody kept saying that Galeb Bazori has been in tough spots before, and that you come through them unscathed. They were right.
Don't listen to gossip. Forge your own opinions.
Don't worry about it.
It's not a natural thing here. It takes some experience.
Mens et manus.
Mind and hand.
That's the MIT motto. One of my teachers used to say that the only way to really learn something is by doing it. You have a lot in common with him.
I'm unsure of how I'm supposed to interpret that.
It's a compliment. You didn't tell me what was in those files you gave the prince.
I don't see how that's any of your business.
To make up your own mind about something, the best way is to go to the source. And apparently, Jason Moore is well informed.
I see. You'll have to be patient, Fang.
Do you think your success on the mission could play to our advantage? I mean, for...
The prince will decide your fate when the time comes. Being useful to her can't hurt. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I just want to get it over with. Like when you're going into finals.
Even if there's no going back?
It's a little late for that, isn't it?
It is.
Your child, Beryl Underwood, did he have any second thoughts?
I don't want to discuss it.
He's your only child, so I wondered how it went. Well, could you enlighten me?
Beryl is very different from you. He always has been. I was blind. It won't happen again. Beryl would have begged me to get what he wanted. Your patience reassures me. I'm making the right choice with you.
You seem to really have a problem with him.
Yes, and that's why you must stay away from him.
This separation between you, what caused it?
Don't dig too far into it. You know this is something I don't discuss.
That's too bad.
I'm not one to beat around the bush, especially on a matter like this. So either be frank with me, or be silent.
I'm sorry, it's just that it's not easy for me.
I'm listening.
Beryl asked me to come by and see him.
Did you?
I didn't think anything bad could happen. I actually thought that...
You ignored what I told you. Don't ever do that again. What did he want with you?
Nothing in particular. He wanted to get to know me. He told me about Seattle, the Camarilla. He was just being nice, that's all.
Beryl isn't nice. He's dangerous. I'm going to have a word with him.
But...
Wait here.
Just one more, and then you can go rest.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Ortiz.
Any news here?
Everyone is stressed out. I've never seen anything like it. They're all talking in hushed voices. They barely dare to look at each other.
People and their moods. I'm not interested in that.
I saw them take one of Jason Moore's bodyguards below. To question him, I imagine. That could be of interest to you. Say, how are things with the girl?
Excuse me.
It's Zhu Feng, right?
She's not a girl.
Things going okay?
The interest certain people have taken in her has given me cause for concern.
Maybe that's something you should talk about with the person in question. Do you think you'll embrace her soon?
As soon as possible, once the prince gives me permission.
You met Fang at MIT, didn't you?
I first discovered her by reading one of her articles.
What does she write?
She studies the blue economy.
To each his own. I don't even know what that means.
It's about hope. A hope of making up for centuries of exploitation.
Since when are you concerned about that?
Since I saw Beryl poison our kind.
Blood or money? I've never embraced anyone.
How come?
The story of my life, and my unlife. I have no progeny, mortal or otherwise.
By choice?
Yes, and no. When things weren't so strict, I could have asked, but I didn't have anyone in mind. Not like you and Feng. Now it's too late, as I've clearly been made to understand.
Maybe you'll get another chance.
Oh, you mean that after the SI's done with us, our overpopulation problem will be solved?
I didn't mean it like that.
But still. Be that as it may, I hope the Prince will allow you to do it.
I don't know.
After what you pulled off last night.
I only did what I was asked to do.
You brought Jason Moore back here. Sifting through the rumors, it seems it was far from easy.
Indeed.
The Prince must realize it. She'll show her gratitude.
I'd better be going.
See you. What's gonna happen to my vessels?
A message from Caius. Need you downstairs. Urgent issue. Bad timing. I'm going to have to choose. Help Caius or speak with Beryl.
There's no point in hanging around here bothering me. It's gonna take me a while.
Very well, Mr. Sheridan. Please excuse me. I've been at this for hours.
It's too slow. What a shitstorm! I can't wait to be done with this.
Everything's gotta go. Mr. Bazori.
My sire collected books too. He left them all behind when he left. Sheridan knows this city better than anyone. Journey's sire, I believe, went east, as did mine.
Can you come help us?
suppose. Of course. Divas sure love their theatrics.
Caleb, congratulations.
Why?
Jason Moore? I thought nothing would come of it. But you brought him back. Flawless, as always. Sorry, things are a little hectic here. As you can see.
What's going on?
Code Red. We're destroying all of our files. Following protocol.
You're destroying all our files?
No, not everything. Obviously. Some information needs to be saved. The rest will be a treasure trove for anyone who wants to harm us. That's what's got to disappear. It's a huge undertaking. And of course, Hazel's putting major pressure on me. She's normally a little high-strung, but you can imagine how much worse it's become.
It's her job. She's trying to keep us from going down with the ship, no matter the cost.
I agree. And you know how much I love Hazel. But it's starting to get hard to manage. My efficiency might be the stuff of legend, but even I make mistakes. How about you? Is everything all right?
After last night, who could say that?
I mean, you know, your condition.
My condition?
You know, you're the eldest among us now.
Are you worried about me, or the void I'll leave behind?
You're an essential asset for the Camarilla. You disappearing now would be one of the worst possible things that can happen to us.
It's true that reliability is a virtue in decline.
Don't leave us. That's all. For Hazel's sake.
I've got my own reasons to stay.
I was wondering, what is it like? Do you hear voices? Does it come at you all at once?
It's more like a feeling. A light one at first. Then it grows, and grows, until it becomes unbearable.
It doesn't look so unbearable for you.
I'm hanging on, but you shouldn't worry about it. You're still very young.
Listen to us. Talking about growing old, like mortals do.
What's wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Second Inquisition attack. You're the only person here who doesn't seem fazed by it. London seemed so far away. Now they're here. They're destroying the people we know. I really need to get back to work.
Good luck.
We're not moving fast enough.
I've seen princes come and go. In the end, it always comes down to a struggle for power between the prince and their primogen. Hazel is strong, but will she last much longer? The Convention of Thorns. an important step in our history. A peace agreement that put an end to a bloody revolt. Ancilla against neonates, Camarilla against anarchs. A copy of a treatise on metal transfusion. Dijon gave it to Hazel when I first started working together. The First Inquisition. The first time our supremacy was challenged.
Caleb, I was wondering when I'd run into you.
Victoria, what a surprise. I didn't know you had decided to walk among us.
I'm always where you'd least expect me. It feels like I've been away for ages. Boston has changed so much. The only thing that hasn't changed is your steadfast presence at court.
Is that a problem?
You know it's not. I'm just surprised, that's all. There's a whole world outside this city, you know?
I'll serve our family as long as it needs me.
You are a reassuring presence. I must admit I was a bit surprised not to find Quentin King in charge.
Quentin gave in to the beckoning 4 years ago. Ms. Iverson runs Boston now.
How droll. I never thought King would give up his precious crown. He was so attached to it. Iverson is lucky she can count on your loyalty. You're a valuable resource, Caleb, especially in times like these.
I'm only doing my duty.
Ever the cheerful one.
So many elders are gone, and yet, here you are. How is it possible?
Because I want to, that's all. I enjoy my existence. Why give it up?
But you must also feel that force. The insistent calling, night after night.
Yes, but unlike so many others, I have a reason to resist. Don't you?
I still have some ties that keep me here. I won't leave without having one more child.
You're sure taking your time.
I'm waiting for the prince's blessing. It shouldn't be long now. Fang will be embraced soon.
Fang! Oh yes, I see. She seems charming, spirited even. You have a knack for finding true gems. I remember your sire, Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
I didn't see him at court. I remember he was very popular back in the day.
He left with all the others.
Oh. I know the two of you were very close. His absence must have left quite the void.
I have no energy to waste on regrets. Jean-Baptiste had no choice. No more than I do. That's all there is to say on the matter.
Of course. I'd expect nothing less from you.
You seem to have met Feng.
We had the chance to talk last night. She was pacing the floor while you were gone.
I told her to keep quiet.
And she did. She's a smart young woman of great consequence. You shouldn't treat her like a child.
The court is full of predators. Feng is easy prey in the eyes of many.
She's more resourceful than you think.
Not against kindred this old.
Ugh. Oh, Caleb, please. Is it her pretty face that's got you acting like a knight in shining armor?
I'm just trying to protect her.
That's what I'm saying. I've had my share of protective followers too. Men who thought they could use their power to protect my delicate nature. I've survived longer than them all.
I'm not overprotective of her, if that's what you mean.
That's not the impression you give off. I hope you're able to find a balance, or you'll both suffer.
I hadn't heard you were coming to Boston.
Indeed. I wouldn't be stuck in this tower if I hadn't gotten wind of your arrangement with Hartford.
Well, isn't that a shame?
It's not been a complete waste. I met your prince, and I got to see a few old friends. I just hope it's not at the cost of my unlife.
You don't seem to be hurt. I take it you weren't at the party last night.
Heavens no. I was in your prince's personal suite. We hadn't even left yet when the Code Red was initiated.
Good timing.
Good timing indeed. When I think that the Second Inquisition's butchers were lying in wait, I'd shiver, if I could.
My obligations to Hazel kept me away from the court last night. Did I miss anything important?
No, nothing much. I ran into Burrell. He was with your charming little protege.
I don't like the sound of that. Did you hear their conversation?
That would have been very impolite of me.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Caleb.
Caleb, our secret agent is back already. The soldier is on furlough.
Not for long, I'm afraid. The prince will undoubtedly have some new task for me.
At least she trusts you. She hardly speaks to her primogen. Even Beryl is in the dark.
He's not used to that. It'll be good for him. I heard you were doing business with him.
It's something to do with the Rosemont Society, my foundation. Why?
Now is not the time to be hiding things, given the circumstances. If the prince were to hear about shady business dealings, heads would roll.
She wouldn't take someone's head over so little. We're taking advantage of a springboard for young artists in order to improve our profits.
In other words, you're rigging a competition to make money.
Bravo. You know how to read between the lines.
I call it like I see it.
Coming from you. All I can tell you is that Beryl's really the one who is in charge of it. Are you still not talking?
You could say that.
Any regrets?
I'm planning to make up for it with Fang.
Oh, so that's why you've become attached to that girl.
I'm not attached to her. She's an asset for the Camarilla, and a necessary balance to temper Beryl's wicked games.
Personally, I find that giving a child so much power is dangerous. The problem is that you have to watch them all the time. Otherwise, they end up making a mess of things.
You might be right. Beryl didn't wait long before revealing his true nature. There's no denying that I'm at least partly to blame for the situation.
Indeed. I would have done something about it, and he would have begged me for forgiveness. Do you really think you'll have time to embrace Fang?
What do you mean?
Well, with all the elders gone, who knows who'll be next?
That's not something I'm willing to discuss with you.
Suit yourself.
No, excuse me, I have to go.
Of course.
Mr. Bazori, your child is in his office.
Caleb, By all means, make yourself right at home.
Beryl, always ready to jump at the slightest opportunity. Bespoke suits, of course. Our taste for luxury. Feng is in her rightful place on the cover of this type of magazine. There's a reason I chose her. Feng used this glass, so she's been here. I don't like the sound of that. Feng held this magazine. Strange. Beryl used this glass. He only drinks with mortals. It sets them at ease.
You? Here? How extraordinarily rare. To what do I owe the honor?
Enough, Beryl. Did you speak with Feng?
I'm not one to keep an eye on the comings and goings of your retainers.
Did you speak to her?
So much fuss about nothing.
You know very well what she is to me, and what she'll be soon.
If the prince authorizes it...
It's only a matter of time.
I sincerely hope so. I ran into her recently, it's true, but we hardly said a word to one another.
Stop it right now. I know you saw Feng, right here. I already told you not to speak to her again.
Come again?
Don't try to deny it. You spoke to her.
Fine, she came here. I don't see what the problem is.
What exactly is driving you?
Unlike you, I don't try to control the lives of those around me. Feng still enjoys a certain degree of freedom, doesn't she, to choose whom she sees? We ran into each other by accident, and we didn't speak for long.
I spoke with her. She told me that you summoned her.
Summoned? Please be serious. I don't summon people.
No, that's not your style.
I did ask her to stop by. There was no obligation. None whatsoever. And I don't think she regretted our meeting at all. I really don't see the harm in it.
It's not your business to understand.
I'd really like to, though. I just wanted to give her some advice. To help guide her through this brave, dangerous new world. When it comes to that, I don't think you're doing enough. Am I mistaken?
You needn't worry. She's been introduced to everyone. I don't intend to leave her defenseless among the drooling predators skulking in the corners. And she might just surprise you.
I'm sure she will.
She's worth far more than your estimations.
Is she worth more than me?
Are you sure you want an answer to that?
All right, all right. I never took you for the fatherly sort. But I guess anyone at any age is vulnerable to the winds of change. Your concern for Feng is to your credit. It really is. However, I can't help making comparisons with my own past experiences.
You shouldn't.
It was long ago, I admit. But I'm still your only child.
You're jealous.
I'm not jealous. Although I do regret the unfortunate turn our relationship has taken. I'm worried about Feng, honestly. You would worry too if you were in my shoes. I just want to make sure she doesn't go through the same thing I did. The crushing weight of disappointment. The distance. The disdain.
Beryl, I'm sorry. I made a mistake with you.
Mistake? What, pray tell, did you ever do to make things go awry? You dropped me in a hornet's nest and left me to dodge the stings. I've been nothing but alone from the very start. You gave up, Caleb. And did you ever once consider fixing your mistake?
That's why I'm doing things differently with Fang. I don't want to make the same mistake again.
Ah, such eloquence, which never ceases to surprise me. You've always wielded words with such deadly skill. But there is one small detail it seems you have forgotten. You won't be there for her much longer.
What?
Think about it. You're the oldest person in this city now. It gnaws at you like it does all the elders. You can feel it inside you, and it will grow and grow until you finally give in. How long do you think it will be before you leave too?
I'd weigh your words. One might think you actually want me gone.
Far be it from me to want that.
Yet you seem so eager to replace me, even purring up to Fang. That doesn't seem like a very loyal attitude to have.
I won't let you question my loyalty.
Then do something to prove it. Then we'll talk.
Actually, if I understand you right, and I think I do, we're of the same mind. With a few minor differences.
Is that so?
We both want what's best for Fang. So then why can't I see her?
It's quite simple. Either you do what I say, or I'll take more radical measures.
There's no need for that. I'm sure we can find common ground.
You don't come near Fang again, and I won't tear you limb from limb.
I was thinking of something a little more...
It's not negotiable.
I see. I'll have to settle for that.
You'd better.
I just wanted to make sure she knew what she was doing here. I didn't think you'd react like this.
You didn't think I'd find out.
Don't turn this into a witch trial. If I've acted badly, it was with good intentions. But I've heard your message loud and clear. I'll bear it in mind.
Just keep your distance, and everything will be fine.
Yes, you've made yourself very clear.
One more thing. A little bird told me about your operations in South America.
My dear sire, for someone I thought had no interest in business, you're remarkably well informed.
Nothing can stay hidden from the court forever.
Where's the harm in it?
Your actions have consequences for the Camarilla that you haven't considered. You could endanger the Masquerade. Don't you think you should speak to the prince about it?
I don't see how my personal business concerns her. She's already having enough trouble getting us out of this mess she's dragged us into.
You hold her responsible for this?
She's in charge, isn't she? She hosted the party. It's only natural to hold her accountable, isn't it?
If the court were to hear what you just said...
Ha! Do you really think I'm the only one who thinks this? You'd best be going.
I wasn't planning on staying, be sure of that.
It's been a pleasure. Please excuse me if I don't see you out.
I hope he understood this time. He won't get another warning. It's locked from the inside. Caius again. They locked it down. Too late to go see him. Hazel is probably ready to see me now. I won't make her wait.
There's no point in insisting.
The prince didn't ask you for your opinion.
Hazel can't just ignore me and then call me in like this. Now get out of here before I make your blood boil.
Mr. Siaka, you're taking a big risk.
Goodbye.
Asshole. What a nightmare. It's chaos here.
Reading tarot. For those who are uncertain as to what the future holds for them.
Now she's sending you.
Run into some trouble with the prince?
That's a question to ask Hazel. She's the one who doesn't know what she wants.
You seem unusually tense. Are you sure she's the problem?
Obviously, the whole situation is a nightmare, but Hazel's not helping. She's obviously overwhelmed, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. I don't know how you still put up with her.
You owe your place in the Primogen to her.
What, you think I don't know that? I've always done my best to keep her from screwing things up. But when she reached out to Hartford,
is there a problem with Hartford?
I told Hazel we can't trust them.
Do you have any evidence to support what you're suggesting?
She doesn't know Deneb the way I do. She wouldn't listen to my warnings.
Her plan was bold.
Risky is a better adjective. After what happened last night, I'm not sure you realize just how deep the shit we are in goes.
And I suppose you have the solution?
Maybe. Not that I'm happy about it. There's interesting stuff going on in other places. Boston's not the center of the universe.
We don't know who can be trusted. This is no time to leave. If the prince has kept you in the dark, she must have had a good reason for it. Just look at what happened.
Open your eyes, Caleb! The Boston Camarilla is crumbling before our eyes! What are the odds we survive?
If you leave now, you're no better than our enemies.
You're one to talk. You know what it's like to feel called to be elsewhere.
That has nothing to do with this. Salem isn't elsewhere. You won't be any safer there.
It's just a starting point. We thaumaturgs will find a way to deal with it.
I see that you've planned for everything.
I've already lost too much time. You shouldn't waste your time either.
If you leave, Hazel will catch up with you.
What do you mean?
You know, she doesn't like people who have been disloyal, especially now.
Hazel doesn't need new enemies. She should be wary.
Be careful.
Goodbye, Caleb.
Sorry, Mr. Bazori. Miss Drory's quarters are off limits.
What's going on here?
Mr. Leto's orders. We've got to clean up.
I need to take a break.
Meet me there.
Okay, sure.
What a night. Back already?
I saw a barrel. I hope I've managed to clarify the situation once and for all. As for you, don't go near him again.
All right. I understand, I assure you.
I prefer to be prudent when it comes to him. He's dangerous.
Duly noted. I'll be careful.
Well then, I have to go see the prince. Wait for me.
Oh.
The prince is ready to see you now.
Great.
Caleb,
My prince.
we were expecting you.
How may I be of service to you this time?
One thing at a time. I thought about what happened yesterday. Whoever went after Moore was clearly trying to ruin us. We managed to avoid disaster thanks to you. Thank you.
Unfortunately, Moore won't be of much use to us.
We're going to get rid of him.
He's already lost a lot in this affair. Perhaps we could find another use for him.
No, he's been compromised. I won't change my mind. You're going soft, Caleb. But it's not Moore I'm worried about.
I understand.
Only the Hartford Chantry was aware of our relationship with him. And it's clear the attack didn't come from them.
Then who?
I've suspected as much for a while now. You must feel it too. Someone in the Camarilla is working against us.
A traitor.
It appears so.
Who would dare to do that?
You must have some thoughts about it.
Do you have a name?
I'd like to be able to tell you more, but unfortunately I don't. I'm going to find the culprit. It's my top priority.
I spoke with Beryl. He's up to something.
The problem with your child is that he's always up to something. How am I supposed to know if it's not in my best interest?
We must keep an eye on him.
You're not telling me everything, Caleb. I'm your prince. You know you can trust me.
I don't understand him anymore. I forbade him from seeing Zufang, but he disobeyed. It's all one big, twisted game for him.
That's a strictly personal matter.
Who knows what he's really hiding?
Of course, like all the others. It's impossible to have anyone you can trust in this court, even in the middle of the worst crisis we've ever faced.
You've faced grave dangers in the past. I've never seen you so wary.
I've been suspicious of the Primogen for a while now. They're always throwing up roadblocks. With everything that's happening, I'm afraid I've waited too long to take any drastic action.
Do you think they're behind all this?
Any one of them could have revealed the address of the reunification party. They all had it. In any case, they'd jump at the slightest opportunity to bring me down if I tried to exert too much control.
That's why you asked more for a detailed report on each of them.
Exactly. Defeating our enemy would give me something to keep them in check. For a time. Failure is a luxury we will soon be unable to afford. If you have nothing more to say, we can move on to the reason I sent for you.
What did you think about Richard Dunham's file?
Money that should be going to me seems to go missing whenever he touches it. Richard is far too important to me. I can't afford to upset him now. But if his research doesn't pay off soon, I won't hesitate to show him my disappointment.
Did you read Jara Drory's file?
I wish I'd never seen it.
There's too much I despise in it.
She never mentioned she was monitoring the Primogen's finances. Or this, Catapotis. What on earth is it?
I've got no idea.
It doesn't add up. It seemed important to her.
But she's not here to shed any light on it. I'm listening.
I've asked for your presence here because I have a new mission for you. Delsin was able to track down the men who attacked us.
It wasn't easy, but it was impossible for them to disappear without leaving a trace after what they did yesterday.
Where are they hiding?
Long Island.
Yes, of course. An abandoned facility just off the coast. An old fort. It's the ideal place for a secret base.
And certainly much more. Who knows what they're up to out there?
How is it we didn't notice a thing?
They have abundant resources, and we're short on eyes.
It doesn't matter. We'll find the people responsible for the situation later. Our most pressing issue is preventing them from striking us again.
How?
You're going to go there and kill their leader.
As I've said before, you can count on me.
Good. That's what I was hoping you'd say. When the time comes, I won't forget to reward those who've been loyal to me.
I won't let you down. What's the plan?
They evacuated the bodies from the site of the party, which is how we were able to pick up their trail.
There's a small, nondescript warehouse at Jeffrey's Point. As far as we can tell, their transfers from Boston to Long Island are made by boat. To avoid drawing attention to themselves, they've chosen to employ only small craft. There are bodies packed in the warehouse waiting to be shipped over. Do you get the picture?
You want me to disguise myself as a body to be evacuated?
Exactly. All you have to do is stop simulating your vital functions for a few hours.
It's risky.
It's risky, but it's now or never. We might never get another opportunity. We have to try.
The last transfer is probably going to take place tonight. After that, there's no way of knowing when we'll get another chance.
I need to know the details.
Let us worry about getting you into the warehouse. We've made all the preparations. You won't have to worry about a thing until you get to Long Island.
We know where they are. Why go through their warehouse?
Charging into Long Island blind would be far too risky.
And with a traitor in our midst, I'd rather keep this to a small circle of trusted people, to avoid any other unpleasant surprises.
And after that?
Once you're on the island, you'll be in uncharted territory. You'll be on your own.
Who is my target?
Walter Stanford.
He's the head of the Boston Task Force. He's part of what they call the Society of Leopold.
Someone else will take his place.
No need for you to worry about that for the time being. Your mission is to eliminate Stanford, and that's all.
What do we know about this Stanford?
Not much. They're very careful. He was sent from the Vatican, and he brought other fanatics with him. If he's here, it means that Rome has faith in him, and that can't be good for us.
He's got to be taken out.
What's the Vatican getting out of all this?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems that the kind are trying to get a better understanding of us in order to hunt us more effectively. These priests have been our enemies for ages. They have knowledge.
Putting an end to them is crucial. We must keep our enemies from unifying their strength.
I don't wish to be the bearer of ill tidings, but what if I fail? Do you have a backup plan?
Caleb, you won't fail. You're our only hope. We place all our trust in you to complete this essential mission.
There's no room for error, Bazori.
Aren't you worried someone will tip off the SI? There's still a traitor among us.
The traitors, my department. You need to strike quickly, and don't let anyone know of your plans. We can't take the slightest risk.
All right. I've heard enough.
Very well. Then you should get going. We've already lost enough time.
Very well. My prince,